Today we're going to be going over a brand new UGC platform that I believe firmly is the next gold rush. So consider this your free getting started masterclass. If you don't know what app I'm talking about Trybe. But first, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kaylee. I am the co-founder of 2739 Agency on TikTok Shop, as well as 2739 Agency on Trybe. Since January of 2025, I've been educating content creators on how to have stable income by stacking multiple online income streams. We are basically making the next wave of digital entrepreneurs, which is exactly why we named the agency 2739, because $2,739 is how much you have to make daily to become a millionaire. And we think that's fully possible when you are stacking income streams. First of all, what is Trybe? Whether you've been trying to make TikTok Shop work and you've been feeling frustrated, or maybe you've excelled and succeeded with TikTok Shop, but now you want to turn one piece of content into more money, or maybe you've been really wanting to get into UGC and you just have no idea how to connect with brands, you have to jump on Trybe. So Trybe is not a social media platform. You are not posting to a feed. You're not trying to get followers, and you're not battling with an algorithm to get views. Trybe is basically the connection between creators and brands. You get accepted by the brand, you create content for them, they approve your content, they run it as ads, and then you get paid. So Trybe is actually functional on a desktop as well as a phone app for both iPhone and Android. What you're looking at right now, this is Trybe on the desktop. And because it's available on desktop, I even have a Chrome extension tool that makes working with Trybe so much easier. It helps you really understand which brands to focus on so you're not wasting your time and energy, but we'll get to that later. At the beginning of August, I decided to do a 30-day challenge within my 2739 community, and this is how much I've made. Today alone is going to be an over $200 day. And this is all just with starting to be consistent literally on August 3rd. Okay, so first thing you'll want to do is create your profile. Check the description. I do have a link for you to join right there. You're going to sign up as a creator and get started. It is super important that you fill this profile out completely. So you're going to want to put a profile picture of yourself that is clear and easy to see. Of course, insert your handle. And then you're basically just going to follow the prompts. I'm making this account actually for my mom. That is how easy I think it is to use Trybe. You'll click what you're interested in. I love that on Trybe, you don't actually have to niche down. It allows you to be so much more creative and really tap into everything that you're interested in, unlike other platforms that really try to narrow you down. Now, it's going to ask you how many UGC videos you create per month. If you don't necessarily do UGC, but you are doing TikTok Shop, I would put the number of TikTok Shop posts you post every month here. This part is really important. So this is where you're going to put how much you earn from UGC on average every month. So you would put how much you're making from TikTok Shop. If you're doing TikTok Shop and UGC, you would combine that together. If you earn money from Amazon, I would also include that. Anywhere that you're earning from making UGC videos, I would include that income. If you're not earning that much, it is okay to be new at this. There are new brands on Trybe that do accept new creators. So do not let this discourage you. But if you are having successful TikTok Shop earnings, I would go ahead and upload a screenshot right here. If you have a screenshot of your lifetime earnings, I would attach that to your current monthly earnings so that they can see both in one screenshot. You can always update this information later. You can always update your profile. And then this is where you just want to shoot for the stars and put what your monthly earnings goal is. And then this is the part that you really want to make sure that you have filled out. This is like your portfolio. Brands are going to see these 5 videos that are your sample videos in your profile. Whenever you request a brand, they can see these. So you can either put links here to your existing TikTok Shop videos, or you can upload the videos right here so that they show on your profile. If you want to work in different categories of products, I would have a mix of videos showing all the different types of products that you work with. I would also make sure to have a mix of styles of content so you can show brands how dynamic you are as a creator. And that's it. Your profile is complete. So when I say make sure you complete your profile, that's all I'm talking about. Now, if you are brand spanking new to content creation, you are just trying to get into this for the first time, even if you haven't officially worked with brands, I would make sample videos of yourself promoting products as if you were going to be submitting these to Trybe. This is exactly what I did when I started getting into UGC before I really had many brand collaborations that were meaningful. I created a portfolio and I literally took products that I had around my house that I would have loved to be making UGC for, and I created sample videos, and that's what I put in my portfolio. Then as I had successful partnerships and successful videos that were converting, I switched them out and put them into my portfolio and moved out those original sample videos if it wasn't my best work. As you grow as a creator, again, you can swap out those sample videos on your profile. The next most important thing about your profile is connecting your Instagram and your TikTok account. Again, when you are requesting brands, they can see your socials and they may want to look at your accounts. But the other reason why you want to have an Instagram account if you don't currently have one is because when Trybe first got going, the premise of Trybe was for brands to be running our content as ads on their own accounts. But lately, as Trybe has developed, I've noticed that some brands don't even run my content as ads until I allow them to whitelist on my account. If you're not familiar with what whitelisting means, all it means is that the brand is going to run the ad, but it's going to move through your account, so it's going to look like you posted it. It does not show up on your profile. It just shows up in other people's feeds as a sponsored ad. But it looks like you posted it and not the brand, so it looks more authentic and it converts higher. Plus, we had the CEO of Trybe on our community call inside of 2739. He mentioned Meta puts limits on the brand so they can only run so many ads per day through their own account. So by whitelisting, they're able to run even more ads. So there's a lot of reasons why brands want to whitelist. But they can't whitelist if you don't have a connected Instagram account that's either a professional or business account. I have mine set up as professional. And you're also going to want to create a business Facebook page, and you're going to want to link that business Facebook page to this professional Instagram account. That way, when the brand whitelists through Meta, through Trybe, they can run your ad as an Instagram ad and a Facebook ad. That's how everything links together. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is find brands to request. Like something like TikTok Shop, you're not just posting whatever content you want to post and then the brand is deciding to run it as an ad. What's happening is you actually have to request to join their Trybe. So you'll want to go to Discover Brands. So you'll click on Discover Brands and you can either view all brands here. You can scroll over and view brands by category. Now, something that I like to do every day is click on the New Brands tab, and I like to see who has just joined on Trybe. One of the biggest pushbacks I hear about getting on the Trybe app is that creators aren't seeing brands that they currently work with on TikTok Shop or other platforms. You are going to be missing out on the biggest ground floor opportunity if you are only waiting to work with brands that you currently work with on TikTok Shop. So what I'm suggesting to the creators in 2739 is to request to join a mix of brands. Look for brands that you already work with on TikTok Shop because you can repurpose that content. So you can use the content you're posting on TikTok Shop and also post it to Trybe. Also look for new brands on Trybe that not everybody is looking for to work with. Because what happens is you can get in with a new brand and you can quickly become their top creator if they're running good ad spend. More familiar brands are great to work with because they're bigger brands, they're more well known, they have that ad spend, but because they're more well known, they have more competition and they can be slower to approve your content because they just have so many submissions. Now, another thing that's holding creators back is the fact that they're saying, okay, I don't know any of these brands, I don't have any of their products, so I'm just gonna wait to see more brands come in that I already have products at home for. No. 99% of these brands have a request samples button. So when you click on a brand that you might be interested in, you're going to see a few things. You're going to see the commission structure. So you'll either see a percentage of sales generated, which is the GMV. You might get paid by a percentage of their ad spend. They could be paying by flat fee. So every time you submit a video, you just earn a flat fee. You could earn a flat fee plus commission, or they can even set up separate retainers for you, all through Trybe. You will usually see their website. So if you're not familiar with their products, you can go to their website and check them out and see if it's something you would be interested in. Usually there will be an about section, so they'll have a little bit of information for you to read through. And then these are their top products that they're focusing on. This does not necessarily mean this is all the products they have available on Trybe. They just really show their top products before you actually get into their brand. So then you would want to request to join. If you don't have the exact product, you can upload a sample video showcasing your work with a similar product, or just upload your best video for them to view. You're just trying to show them the type of content that you can create. And then you can write a sample message here. You can include things about the brand that you really love. If you already work with them in another platform, I would let them know that. If you're doing really well on another platform like TikTok Shop, I would let them know that as well. Just something simple, and then send your request. Now, once you are accepted into a brand, you can see even more information. You're gonna be able to see their top performing videos, so you can get an idea of what they like to accept. You'll see their commission program. You'll see a creative brief, and you want to read this before you request a sample. Because the creative brief is gonna tell you what the brand is looking for, what deliverables they're looking for, what angles, and any extra things you might have to do. Some brands want one video and 3 hooks delivered, for example. So if that's not something you're willing to do for a sample, you would want to know that before you request. On every brand that you get accepted by, you're going to see this button that says Enable Partnership Ads. This is the whitelisting that I was talking about in the beginning. Once you click this, it's going to take you to your Instagram DMs, and that's where you accept. You do not have to do this on both Facebook and Instagram. You only have to do it in one place to activate that. If you're having trouble getting accepted by brands, number 1, make sure your profile is filled out correctly and completely. Number 2, make sure you are requesting a good amount of brands. If you've only requested 5 to 10 brands and you're not being accepted, you haven't requested enough. Make sure you're requesting a mix of brands. Again, big brands that are recognizable and smaller brands. And I would even suggest requesting some of the apps that are on Trybe, because once you get accepted to those, you don't even need to have product on hand. You could just get started creating right away, because some of the samples on Trybe, I'm not gonna lie, they can take a little while to get to you. If you've requested and it's sitting pending, you can go on TikTok Shop and send the brand a message and let them know you're super excited to work with them on Trybe and you've requested to work with them, but it's sitting in pending. If they still don't answer, you can check your messages from the brand on TikTok Shop, see if they have a Discord you can join. A lot of these brands are starting to have channels inside of their Discord specifically for requesting them on Trybe. And if you really want to work with a brand that isn't accepting you yet, I would continue to create videos for them on TikTok Shop or other platforms, tagging them so that you become more visible to them and they can see you're really putting the effort in. The biggest strategy for TikTok Shop in 2026 is retargeting, which means posting the products and brands that work for you and your account over and over again and focusing on them, building relationships with them, adding in free samples here and there. That strategy is what you want to apply to Trybe. So you're not looking to create for 20 different brands at a time. It just wouldn't even be possible. I've seen several brands say that their top creators are posting for them 3 to 5 times a day. So you just couldn't create for 20 brands a day posting 5 times a day. That's like way too much content. Top creators on Trybe are really narrowing down who they are focusing on, but this is a process. You have to continue to request brands, see who's accepting you, see which brands are responsive, which brands are actually running ads on your content, and which brands you are making commission from. It is a process to narrow down. This is a lot of what we go over inside of the 30-day challenge inside of 2739. I'm literally teaching our community exactly how to narrow down to find their winning brands. Now, Trybe is so cool because if you've already worked with a brand on TikTok Shop and you have existing content, you can repurpose that over to Trybe. There are some tweaks you might have to make, but it is possible, and there's some creators who start out on Trybe by only repurposing content. If you're making videos for a brand on Trybe and you're not seeing them run as ads, take a look at their top formats. Are their top videos being run as ads? If they have all zeros across the board, then that brand just might not be super active. And I would say put them to the side, keep moving on, and keep requesting brands. If your ads are running but they're not converting, you want to take a look at your data to see where you can make improvements. You want to look at the top formats and see how similar or different your videos are from there. And you can even look at the top formats and their analytics to see how you can make that concept better and better. One crazy thing I've already seen people talk about when it comes to Trybe is that it's oversaturated, and that could not be further from the freaking truth. What is so unique about Trybe, in my opinion, is the fact that it doesn't only have to be brands that have physical products. It has apps on it. It can literally be any brand that wants to run meta ads. So it could be hotels, it could be restaurants, it could be spas, it could be hair salons. It could be literally anything. So the possibilities are really endless. And there's not honestly enough creators to create for as many brands that exist in the world. Something that I mentioned at the beginning of this video is that I use a Chrome extension to make the most of my time and energy on Trybe, called Creator Radar, and it is completely free if you are inside my community 2739. So when you have Creator Radar installed, you can go to your brands that you already are signed up with. You can scan for your samples so you can keep track of your samples. Trybe doesn't have a really good way to keep track of them right now. You can scan for top performing videos of all of the brands you're connected with, and you can scan for their commission data. You can go into Discover Brands. You can click on whatever category you're interested in, and it will scan all of the brand's data into the dashboard that you have with Creator Radar. So you have the extension, scan your brands inside of Trybe. It will let you know when the brand is new on Trybe. It's going to let you know their commission. It's going to tell you how many creators approximately are working with the brand already. If it has a question mark here, you can go into their Trybe or even in their creator chat that sometimes will pop up and manually input that data. You can see if they're running ads on Meta. And all of this is going to give you a score. So it's going to tell you which brands are worth your time to focus on. And if you're not already connected with them and you want to be, you can click this Trybe button and it's going to take you straight to the brand's Trybe so you can click to request to be added. If you love a Google Sheet instead of a dashboard, you can also have that as well. It syncs up and gives you that same information. Plus, what I love about Creator Radar is you can actually open this up on your TikTok account. You can scan your TikTok account, and if you have recent videos that you've posted of a brand that is currently on Trybe, it will give you a list of URLs for your TikTok videos so you can easily go to them and download them and repurpose them over to Trybe. This extension tool, again, is free access for anyone who is part of my community, 2739. I'll leave a link to the community right inside of the description underneath this video, along with a promo code. You can use the code TRYBE50 to get 50% off your first 3 months inside of my community. So you can get started in our Trybe module. You can get started in our Trybe 30-day challenge. It really helps you walk through each step of Trybe so you aren't confused, you don't get frustrated, and you don't end up wasting time. You really want to just hit the ground running. So many members who have been part of this challenge have already made their first Trybe sales. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have more questions about Trybe, leave them in the comment section so that I know what videos you need me to make.